Sonic, I was created for the sole purpose of destroying you!
Hey guys, Mark here from Ace Card Gaming, and welcome to Byte Sized Metal Madness, a mini-series on everyone's favourite jet-propelled murder machine, Metal Sonic. In this series, we're going to take a look at bite-sized sections of the Sonic universe, where Metal Sonic, and his many variants, have appeared. Metal Sonic is consistently one of, if not the most popular villain in the Sonic series, and there's a good reason for that. His appearance is very much modelled on the blue blur, and Metal's design is just badass, with all the smaller elements coming together to form one seriously menacing looking bot. You are immediately drawn to the eyes, where all there is to greet you are glowing red irises surrounding pitch black pupils, making for one creepy soulless stare. Its fins that resemble Sonic's quills have been reduced in number, and curved in such a way as to improve aerodynamic efficiency. And if that wasn't enough to make it clear this robot is all about speed, the air intake for the jet engine that makes up its entire torso sits right where Sonic's peach-coloured belly would be. And instead of a mouth, Metal Sonic has a silver muzzle across its entire face, further removing any sense of a living creature, with the whole design boasting a highly sleek shape and a highly reflective chrome finish. Sonic's design was always something that attracted the eye, so it's only fitting his evil robotic doppelganger would be the same. And with a design like that, it's no wonder Metal is so popular. But there is far more appeal to Metal than just his design, and in this video, we're going to start back at the very beginning, and take a look at Metal's depiction in his debut title, Sonic CD, analyse how his character was used, and discuss ways he probably could have came out of this game a little better. But just before we get started, if you enjoy videos analysing the different games and characters in the Sonic series, you should consider hitting that subscribe button. I create lots of deep dive analysis videos just like this one, and don't forget to hit the bell icon to be notified when I release more. Anyway, let's get started, shall we? Sonic CD makes a fairly big deal out of Metal Sonic right off the bat, including him in a big way on all versions of the game's cover art. Or at least it would seem that way at first. The opening cinematic, however, while hugely impressive, doesn't include him at all, but does set up the story of the game really well. Robotnik is attempting to take over Little Planet, a small planetoid with mystical properties that hovers over Never Lake for 1 month each year. His primary interest in Little Planet lies in its 7 time stones, 7 gems similar in shape and size to the Chaos Emeralds that give those who attain them the power to manipulate time. Robotnik waits for the moment that Little Planet appears and proceeds to chain it to Earth, preventing it from eventually disappearing as it naturally would, before wreaking havoc on the small planetoid across the past, present, and future as he turns it into his own personal fortress. As will come as a surprise to no one, Sonic promptly shows up and sets out to dismantle Robotnik's efforts across all timelines and create a good future for Little Planet. But Robotnik's a clever guy.
Yush!
And after being foiled by Sonic so many times already, this time he came prepared, as helping him carry out his plans for Little Planet is his most advanced machine to date, Metal Sonic, a top-of-the-range killing machine with advanced AI and features designed to surpass the skills of Sonic in every way. Its sole purpose, to destroy the pesky blue rodent once and for all. Shortly after arriving on Little Planet, Sonic meets Amy Rhodes for the very first time at the end of Palm Tree Panic Zone, and I think it's safe to say that the rest is history. History we've actually covered already in another video, so that's nice. But it's not until Collision Chaos Zone that Sonic finally comes face to face with his Metal doppelganger, as Metal catches him off guard and kidnaps Amy right in front of him before jetting off at speed. As introductions go, I think Metal's was actually handled pretty well. He leaves a lasting impression as he breaks through spike traps, something we'd never seen before, and snatches Amy from right under Sonic's nose as he stands by helpless to stop it. As if Sonic didn't already have enough to do with stopping Robotnik, he now has to rescue Amy as well. The series hadn't really attempted anything like this before, and for a first attempt, I think Metal came out of this on a really strong footing. But unfortunately, all of the buzz generated by this badass intro goes on to be completely wasted, as not 1, not 2, but 3 full zones come and go without a single appearance for Metal, with Sonic not bumping into him again until the very end of Stardust Speedway. And while it sucks how underutilized Metal has been up to this point, the debut of this racing boss fight was always something I loved, and something that probably should have only been done the once. But the reason I liked this style of boss fight so much is because it helps set Metal apart from every other boss fight the player has experienced before, and most importantly, adds to the idea that this fight is personal for Metal. Metal Sonic was created for no other reason than to be better than Sonic, and Metal's AI takes this goal very seriously, defining its existence around it. Metal seems to develop a strange hybrid inferiority and superiority complex with Sonic. Maybe he's just sick of hearing Robotnik talk about him all the time, like that person who just isn't over their ex and talks endlessly about them to their new partner. But the reason I say this fight is personal to Metal is because rather than just try to simply kill Sonic outright, it instead challenges him to a race. And yeah, the loser dies, but still, Metal wants to surpass Sonic at the very thing he is known for: speed. Even mocking Sonic by using his signature finger wave to taunt him before the race. Metal doesn't just want to destroy Sonic, he wants to replace his fleshy nemesis as the one true Sonic, which is something we see elaborated on in Sonic Heroes, and that's probably a story for another Metal video. The foundations for these feelings that develop in Metal's AI, whether you want to call them jealousy, insecurity, or maybe even fear, are laid out pretty well in Sonic CD. And while Metal was very underutilized in this game, at least the basics of his character arc were done pretty well, if a little subtle. During the race, Metal will try to show up Sonic by using his maximum overdrive whenever Sonic takes the lead, easily overtaking the fastest thing alive. And while ahead, will use his ring spark field to damage Sonic should he try to retake the lead. This racing boss fight mechanic went on to be reused many times throughout the series, something I feel has cheapened the encounter somewhat, but again, probably a topic for their respective videos. Pushed to his limits, Sonic barely manages to overcome the raw speed of Metal, and using his agility, just about manages to outmaneuver Metal's attacks and cross the finish line first. As the door slams shut behind Sonic, Robotnik is unable to slow down in time to stop his laser beam from destroying Metal, something he was so sure he would get to do to Sonic. Sonic takes the opportunity to rescue Amy, who had been tied to a pole at the finish line, before quickly moving on to stop Robotnik's plans. And as fleeting as his appearance was, Metal is gone. A grand total of 2 appearances, and he has been fully dealt with. Sonic goes on to collect all 7 Time Stones and defeat Robotnik, ending his schemes for Little Planet. He returns Amy safely to Earth, and now liberated from Robotnik's grip, Little Planet disappears once again. Despite being deemed important enough to appear on the friggin' box, Metal Sonic is unceremoniously drop-kicked out of the game after losing the race against Sonic, getting destroyed by Robotnik accidentally after having only appeared in the game twice. He didn't make it to the end to be the final boss, and while CD did lay some of the foundations for storytelling and character introductions in the 2D games, which would later be vastly improved upon in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, it just seemed really odd to build Metal up so much just to abruptly kill him off. And while the roots were put down for Metal's obsession with surpassing Sonic, and in his mind, becoming the real Sonic, there was so much more that could have been done with him in this game. Things coming down the road in the series, like betraying Robotnik, would have been cool to lay the groundwork for now, creating a really cool segue for when it actually happens in later games. And while the opportunity was squandered here, it was explored in all its glory in other media like Fleetway's Sonic the Comic, and was a truly excellent story. Even if Metal did something like cause Robotnik to lose the final boss fight against Sonic by accident during a final encounter against them both, or show a scene where Robotnik is berating Metal for losing to Sonic, it would have been something very easily done to start building tensions between Metal and Robotnik. Metal is an extremely advanced form of artificial intelligence, so creating roots for his later decisions is something I think would have been really cool. And while this was the early 90s, and storytelling was a bit basic in games at that time, it was still very possible, and would have been a much better introduction to the character in my opinion, especially instead of the somewhat half-hearted debut he did get. A big problem for Metal Sonic is one that has played every character that has ever been unfortunate enough to be labelled as a rival to Sonic. They are replaced and forgotten almost immediately, left to flounder in obscurity, or only brought up to nostalgia pander, with no real plan for how to progress the character. It's like they're stuck at one point in time, and each appearance only serves to make them look even more inferior. Metal was replaced by Knuckles, literally as Knuckles kicked the ass of one of his variants in his debut title. Knuckles 2 was then replaced by Shadow, and while Shadow hasn't been directly replaced by anyone yet, this is only down to Sonic Team's phobia of the mere thought of using other characters for the past 10 years. They've just instead opted to ruin Shadow in a myriad of other ways. Metal is a character with virtually limitless potential, and you don't have to think too hard to come up with many ways of making a really compelling story for him. It's a super intelligent AI program with a lethal set of hardware designed to surpass the series' protagonist in every way. It nearly writes itself, and while some of these ideas are explored in other games or extended media, no real attempt has been made at legitimizing Metal in the games. And while his brief appearances in CD was pretty much a tease at best, at least those 2 appearances were action-packed and worked in a small way towards establishing Metal's character and his motivations. But I think I've probably rambled on enough about CD. Future videos in this mini-series will cover Metal's portrayal in other games in the Sonic series, as well as some of his variants and appearances in extended media. But I'm interested to hear what you guys think. What did you think of Metal's debut in Sonic CD? Which is your favourite depiction or variant of Metal? And what ones would you like to see covered in the mini-series? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And remember, if you enjoyed the video and found the content interesting, please consider subscribing, and throw a like on the video if you enjoyed it. I make lots of deep dive analysis videos just like this one on Sonic characters and the series lore. I also do reviews and retrospectives on Sonic games, and from time to time other games too. So if any of this sounds interesting to you and you'd like to show your support, hit that subscribe button. Your subs really help the channel, and each and every one of them is hugely appreciated by me. But for now, a big thank you for watching, and as always guys, take care.